Hey, it's MK, and I am back with Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches. And this sketch here, I have no clue who created it, so I apologize about that. And the prompt for Scraptember is black and white. I will not be playing along with the prompt only because of the fact that I absolutely love color. Anyways, I have decided to continue to play with these, the detail thickers. And then I have picked out 3 photos of my daughter celebrating getting her braces off with the dentist and staff. Also picked out a few flair from a company that I believe was Scraptastic Kit Club. I cannot remember. And then the Not Just for Boys Kit Club, really cool neon stars. I also have a few leftover stars from the Pear Tree cut file a few weeks ago. I have a color study Vicky Bouton paper that I absolutely love, and then a white sheet of base paper. It's just close to my heart, white craft cardstock. Or not craft, white cardstock. I also pulled out a neon green. Now that one came from a paper pad. I believe it was a Die Cuts with a View long time ago. So I'm going to cut several 1/2-inch strips from this black and white striped paper, as well as cut my photo mats from this green paper. Now I'm not going to make you guys watch me cut all these photo mats because I go back and forth because I cannot remember the numbers anymore. It's like back and forth with the photo measurement and then cutting of the paper. It's annoying. At first, I put my my stripes a little bit too much at an angle for me. So when I lay down my photos, they're almost sideways, and I don't really like that. So I'm going to adjust the angle just ever so slightly to where it doesn't feel like they're going, sideways. And then I realized that I will need to cut some of my vertical strips in half or almost in half in order to get them to go as far up and down the page as I want them to behind the photos, which will be fine because they're going to be covered up. So I'm going to go ahead and glue everything down. That way I'm not working with a whole bunch of loose pieces. That just anxiety. I can feel the anxiety working with loose pieces. Once again, I am going to try to lay down the photos just like the sketch, but my photos are larger than the sketch. And so I'm not going to have as much stripes sticking out. So I decided instead of going straight across, I'm going to put all mine at an angle and have it all be wonky. Plus, I feel like mood and feel of the photos, it needs to be a little bit wonky. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly glue the photos together. That way I have one whole cluster instead of 3 separate photos. And I don't forget how I wanted them to place. Now, in order for my slightly vertical stripes, in order for them to go, straight across from each other and not look, like one's offset from the other, I do use my ruler on one of them, where the rest of them I just eyeball it. I eyeball about 1/8 of an inch gap between them all, and then I cut them based off of how much I want to go up and down. That's basically it. Other than that, I really don't do a whole lot of measuring. And then once I am done trying to figure out what I want my stripes to look like, I definitely will start gluing down my photos. And I am going to go and get some fun foam to put on the back so that way they can pop up off the page and give this page just a little bit of dimension. I'm done putting the foam down. I am going to actually just use a little bit of adhesive to help glue them down, and then I will actually glue everything down a little bit later. I just wanted to be able to leave it a little bit loose just in case I want to tuck things in and whatnot. I don't have a whole lot of embellishments for this layout, but honestly, there's not a whole lot of embellishments for the layout at all, considering the sketch, how the sketch is going. I do also have to say that this is my first time tucking string underneath, and those that use it make it seem like so much easier to put it up in a little ball than I could ever do. It wasn't cooperating with me one bit, just to let you know. So I am going to put some flair right on top of my little stringy nest thingies. I do like it. I like the color and the pop of green. There isn't a whole lot of green in this in the photos, but I wanted to bring that. Every time I think of black and white, I always think of just neon green. I have no idea why, but I do. And so I wanted to bring in the green. Well, because of my daughter's hat that she is wearing, the monster hat, I'm bringing in a little bit of blue. So I will be using Dylusion's London Blue to spray these leftover stars. Now, I don't spray all of the leftover stars blue, but I do bring in some, I believe it's something lime, citrus lime or lime citrus, lime twist, something like that. I end up pulling all the rest of those and making them into a green. So that way they are the neon green that I am looking for. These are the things I'm looking for. Anyways, once they are all dry, I do end up actually flicking a little bit of some mica spray. I believe it was like antique gold or something, or antique bronze mica spray by Tim Holtz, just to give them a little bit of a shine, because Dylusions is more of an ink rather than a shimmer. So I have to let you know that. And then I end up using liquid glue to glue my my flare to the thread and then the thread to the paper. So I do have to push a little bit of pressure to make sure that I get that stickiness down there. Now, my stars aren't as large as the sketch indicates, but I'm still going to go with it. So I have 3 different places of where I am going to scatter my stars. And they don't end up being, you know, a big cluster, large cluster, or a big cluster, medium cluster, and a small cluster. They end up just being, you know, there. Whatever looked good is the way that I was going to go with it. I wanted to make sure that I started with the largest stars first and then scattered all of the little stars around it. And then I realized that my acrylic pieces are very much the same exact color, like almost to a T, and I almost didn't use them, but I did like how the outer blue ones, like the outlined blue ones, or the ones that are missing the center, were a little bit different blue. So I went ahead and end up using the acrylic stars as well. Of course, I have to take the tape off of some of them, but not all of them. Oh, I also use the black stars as well, the black open stars. I have to take off the backing of the acrylic, which is okay. It's not like it's a bad thing to do. In fact, I think it's great because it helps prevent it from getting all scratched up. So I think it's a good thing. And I'm also making a little pile of trash as I go. But then I decide that I'm going to use the lighter blue stars that are open as well from the acrylic pieces, just so that way I have more of the open stars like in the sketch. Now, these are photos of my daughter who went through braces for over 5 years. She just kept running into issues and problems, and the dentist, you know, he just tried his hardest, you know, from 4th grade to 5 years from there, 8th grade, my daughter struggled with braces. And so when she finally got them off, the entire office, the orthodontal office, celebrated. And I was like, wow, they're in that big of a hurry to get rid of you. But no, they celebrated because it was a labor of love for sure, for her to deal with these braces. And he said he's never had a patient that has gone that long with braces on. So we were ecstatic to get them off, and luckily she never had to go to stage 2. So yay, right there. And this is it. I added a few splatters because I felt like it just needed it. I felt like that was what the layout was missing altogether. And yeah, this simplistic little layout, I love it. I can't say enough how awesome this looks. All right, be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with either the Scraptember prompts or the 30 days of sketches, or both. All right, thank you so much. Bye.